Hey guys, how are you? It's Arthi. Hope you guys are doing really well. And in today's video, I'm gonna do something a little different. This is my first official, I guess you could say like story time video, because I know other YouTubers do this, but I've never done this before. And it's gonna be like a, well, I guess story time slash kind of backstory video, if that makes sense, because it's a little bit of, I guess, everything mixed together. And it's going to be about the infamous eyebrows. Well, not anybody's eyebrows. It's going to be about my eyebrows. And because I had made a quick mention about my brows in the previous video that I had done, and I said that I am not going to the eyebrow shop anymore, or the threading shop, because I am just completely done. I've just made the decision that I will not get my brows done anymore there. I'm just going to let them grow back in, just be in their natural state, and then I'm just going to groom them myself from now on going forward. And I wanted to share my story about how I came to this decision and why I went into this, this brow maintenance routine for many, many years. And, maybe if some of you young ladies are watching, you could hopefully walk away with a message from it about loving yourself and all of that stuff. And all right, let me see, I guess, where I should start. I guess I'll start from when I was kind of like, I guess, young. Well, so, I live here in the US, of course. I'm sure as you guys know by now. And, when I was growing up as a kid, I never really thought much about my physical appearance, especially like the face and everything. And when I got to about the high school age, I started to notice that, of course, I looked different from the other girls, because here I was, a young Indian female with like kind of a big nose. I had very thick hair back then, thicker than what it is now. And I had these very thick, heavy, bushy eyebrows. And it was okay, but I started to feel self-conscious about the way I looked over time, because I couldn't help but notice that the other girls all kind of had like this long, thin hair. They had, different facial features, than me, of course, because they were not ethnic. And they had eyebrows that were very thin, or almost pencil thin sometimes. And I kind of started to feel a little jealous, because I was looking at them. And plus, I was also reading magazines like Vogue and all these other fashion magazines that were out at the time. I don't remember all of them, but I do remember I used to spend my summers when I was home from school just reading fashion magazines, because I would make my mother buy it for me, and I would flip through the pages and look at the models, and they were all so pretty. They were really pencil thin, and they had like very nice faces, well structured. And I started making comparisons between myself and them, and I was thinking to myself, wow, if this is what a beautiful woman is supposed to look like, why do I look the way I look? There's something not right, because I felt like I had to kind of conform to that standard of, the pretty woman with the nice, nice nose and the nice facial structure and all that stuff. Because when I was a young kid, some people would comment on how big my nose was. I don't know if my nose is really big, but they would tell me my nose was big and that I had very strong features. I think because the eyebrows were like kind of coming down on top of everything. And these were some family members that would say that stuff, but I don't think they meant any harm by it. But, when you're a child growing up, you kind of absorb all of those messages that people are giving you, and then all these conflicting voices come up in your head. And then by the time I got to the high school level, it all kind of came together, and I was telling myself that, no, you know what, you need to start grooming yourself, and you need to start making yourself look better, so you could be more of like a Western woman, or look more like a Western woman, and not look Indian, or try to make yourself look less Indian. So I got a tweezer from my mom, because my mom used to tweeze her eyebrows here and there, and I would go into the bathroom. I started, like, I don't even know what day of the week, but I know for a week straight I was in the bathroom standing in front of the mirror plucking my brows. I was like hell bent on trying to get like a specific shape, and I thought, well, if I could just thin them out halfway and get like a nice, arch to them, and try to make them look like some model that I had seen in a magazine, then, then my whole face will start to come together and it will look a whole lot better. And then along with that, I also decided to try to put henna in my hair because I wanted to lighten my hair. I thought it was too dark at the time, because I figured, well, if I'm going to do the brows, I might as well do the hair too, so everything is working in unison and not just have, like, you know, one thing or one element going on. And that's what I did. I spent the entire week plucking the brows, and I thinned them out actually quite a bit because I had pretty thick brows, had a lot there, yeah, which I wish I still had. And then after I did that, I started to feel a little bit better about myself. And then I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to think of one defining moment that I guess I want to share with you that happened was, you know, I was in college. This was after I finished going through high school and everything, and I had started the self-grooming process already. So in the college that I was in, they would bring people in from time to time from different companies and stores. They would go through like hiring, they would have hiring seminars and things for young people, like say for the graduating classes and stuff. And one day they brought a lady from a modeling agency, and they set her up in this big hall that they had. And she was taking applications from all the young women. She was calling people over saying, you know, fill out an application. If you could possibly be a model for us, you know, we'll consider you and we'll give you a call and all of that stuff. So I went and filled out the application at the table. And then once I finished, I gave it to her, and I asked her, do you think I have any chance of trying to become a model? You know, I was much younger back then. I didn't look the way I look now. And she was like, oh yeah, I think so. You know, you have a very exotic look. We might be able to use you because you don't look like all the other girls that we currently have working for us. And, you know, I don't know what it was, but there was something about that word exotic that she used. When she dropped that word, it just kind of went into my head, and I sort of was fixated on it, and it really, really bothered me, because I thought, why is she calling me exotic when I've spent all this time grooming myself and trying to look more like a Western woman? Why is she saying exotic? Because that makes it sound like I'm like too ethnic, or, you know, maybe I'm not I'm not right enough for her or her agency, but they'll probably consider me anyway. And that was really like a big defining moment, because that word got stuck in my head for a long time. I was like, oh no, this is not good. I can't be exotic. I need to be just average and normal like everybody else. And then from that point on, you know, I got a little older, finished college, went into my 20s. And then I started like really with the heavy self-grooming. I started to like color my hair, and I colored it many different times. And then I started going to the eyebrow shop and started grooming my brows, like almost, I think it was like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks I was going back. I know the first eyebrow shop I went to, the lady said come back in 3 weeks, and I went back in 2, because I just was like, you know, insisting that no, they have to be, you know, shaped right, and they have to be looking good. So I have to be back in 2, not 3. And every time I would go to the eyebrow shop, I would tell the girl, I would say, no, you know, when you do my brows, make sure you take off a lot of hair on top as well as the bottom, because I wanted them to be pencil thin. Even though she would try to dissuade me and say, no, we'll just do the bottom and shape it, I would say, no, you have to do the top and the middle and all of that stuff, because it has to look a certain way, because I was very specific about how I wanted them. And so I did that for years and years and years, and it went on for, oh my God, I don't even know how long. And I think I went, like, you know, because I moved a couple of times, so I went through maybe 3 different eyebrow shops at that time. Between then and now, 3 shops. And now it's brought me to this point where I'm here with these really sparse, thin eyebrows. And this one here is just not growing back, or it's very slow in growing back, and it's really like disappointing, because I want them to be thick and full again like they used to be years ago. And this was like, you know, so all of this stuff that I'm talking about in the video, this was something that I started thinking about a week ago. And I was just, you know, telling myself, God, if you had not gone through all of that, if I had just stayed natural and stayed true to who I was, it wouldn't be like, you know, all this destruction here where they're all like my eyebrows are all misshapen now and they're refusing to grow back. And now I'm a little older, so I know they're not going to grow back as quickly as they would have when I was younger, because yeah, I just put them through so much damage. Because 20 years ago or even 15 years ago, I could pluck them like crazy and they would start to grow back like 2 days later. But that's not the case anymore. And you know, I think today in this day and age, I see more and more girls with thick brows and with more of, you know, the ethnic look, or they're staying true to who they are. And that's really nice, because I don't think there's necessarily as much pressure these days to change your look or to try to achieve, I guess, a certain standard type of look that the media or magazines push to us. And so I just, you know, I don't know, I guess my main message to all you ladies out there is, you know, don't feel pressured to try to change who you are. You know, just embrace the way you look and the way you were born, because that's just natural and that's what makes you beautiful, because we're all meant to be unique in our own way. I mean, that's just how we are. I mean, the world is supposed to be filled with variety and different types of people. We're not all, you know, expected to be like one, you know, one single way. At least I don't think anymore. And I don't know what else I could possibly tell you guys. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just be comfortable with the way your looks are. I mean, don't feel pressure to try to change just because someone else is telling you, or because you feel that you're going to be a better person if you, you know, do the brows, or if you change your hair or anything, you know. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with maintaining your eyebrows or going to the eyebrow shop or anything, because if someone had told me to stop even a year ago, I would have gotten really angry and I probably would have lashed out at them and told them to go away. And there's nothing wrong if you want to maintain yourself that way. It's fine. But just, you know, what I'm saying, I guess more than anything, is just embrace yourself the way you are, and just, you know, love yourself, because you don't want to, you know, end up like all of with this stuff going on where I'm older now and I can't get this back. So, you know, if you're young, just think a little bit about, I guess, all the stuff that I've told you, so you can make your decisions going into the future. And I think that's it. I hope my story was good. I hope I delivered it the right way. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And, you know, of course, like I said, don't forget to, you know, love yourself, embrace yourself the way you are, because we're all perfect. That's just, you know, the world is meant to be unique. So, all right, that's it. So I love you guys, and thank you for watching and listening as always. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye.